Jordan Blue didn't need fire effects, backup dancers, or dramatic production to stun millions. All it took was a microphone and a broken, beautiful voice. When she stepped onto the AGT stage, she looked nervous, small, almost unsure of herself. But then, her voice cracked through the silence, carrying something more than melody, pain, longing, truth. It was the kind of audition that didn't just go viral, it haunted people. Judges were visibly shaken, some had tears in their eyes. Online, people rushed to share clips of her performance, calling her the most authentic voice AGT had ever seen. But behind all the praise, a darker truth was brewing. Because while most viral performers see their careers skyrocket, Jordan's trajectory was the opposite. Just as her voice began to echo around the world, everything about her fell silent. And that silence, strange, sudden, and unexplained, would become louder than the song that started it all. Next week's episode aired, and she was gone. What made Jordan's story so unusual wasn't just the intensity of her audition, it was the complete absence that followed. Fans tuned in to the next episode expecting a follow-up, or at least a mention of her progress, but she wasn't there. Her name wasn't on the performance list. There were no updates, no tributes, not even a short explanation. AGT acted like she had never auditioned in the first place. In previous seasons, contestants who exited early for health reasons or personal issues were at least acknowledged, but Jordan got nothing. The viewers were left confused. "Where's Jordan Blue?" became a recurring comment across AGT's YouTube videos. On forums and Reddit, speculation began to spiral. Did she withdraw voluntarily? Was there a family emergency? Or had something happened off camera that producers didn't want to talk about? Whatever the case, her removal from the show's narrative was surgical. And the more people looked, the less they found. Jordan Blue, the girl with the voice that broke America, had vanished overnight. When her social media went quiet, fans panicked. In the days following her performance, Jordan's social media accounts exploded. Comments poured in, followers multiplied. People begged her to post again, to release a song, to speak up. But she didn't. Days turned to weeks, and still nothing. Her Instagram, once modestly active, went dark. Her TikTok vanished. Her YouTube page, rumored to have old covers, was wiped. Even friends who once tagged her in photos began untagging. It wasn't just inactivity, it was a total digital retreat. Some fans initially thought she needed time to process the overwhelming attention. Others began to suspect she was being silenced. One by one, all signs of her online presence began to disappear. For someone who had just become a household name, it made no sense. Most AGT stars ride the wave. But Jordan vanished like a ghost. And in today's internet era, that kind of silence doesn't just happen. It's either intentional or enforced. Was it a breakdown or something darker? As the silence dragged on, theories started swirling. Some believed Jordan had suffered from emotional overload, that maybe the pressure of overnight fame, the intensity of the moment, or the response from strangers had overwhelmed her. She was, after all, young, not a pop star chasing fame, but a vulnerable soul who poured everything into one performance. Others wondered whether she had faced emotional difficulties long before AGT, and the show simply triggered something deeper. Then there were the more disturbing possibilities. Was she pushed too far? Did something happen behind the scenes? In the entertainment world, burnout stories are sadly common, but Jordan's felt different, faster, colder, more complete. Her silence wasn't just absence, it was a clean break. And the way the show avoided even mentioning her made people wonder, was this burnout, or was it something they didn't want us to see? Behind the curtain, the story gets murky. Insiders and former AGT contestants have long talked about how talent shows often shape stories for ratings. Producers have been accused of encouraging contestants to amplify their trauma, reframe their past, or lean into the emotion to make better TV. For someone like Jordan, whose audition was already painfully raw, that pressure might have been unbearable. Some rumors even suggest she refused to let her life be packaged into a sob story. A since-deleted post claimed Jordan or her family pushed back on how she was being portrayed. If that's true, it could explain the quiet disappearance. Shows like AGT operate on contracts, tight ones. If conflict arises, sometimes the fastest solution is to cut the thread quietly. No announcement, no controversy, just silence. It's happened before with other contestants. But Jordan's case stands out not because she left, but because her performance was so impactful and her disappearance so complete. When lawyers get involved, everything goes quiet. Several online sleuths believe the key to Jordan's disappearance lies not in emotion, but in legality. AGT contracts are notoriously binding. Contestants often sign agreements that give producers sweeping rights over their story, image, and future media appearances. If Jordan or her family had second thoughts about how she was being used, how much control they had, they may have tried to exit. In such cases, the result is often a legal settlement. Quiet withdrawal, full content removal, and airtight non-disclosure agreements. That would explain the missing video, the vanishing social media, and the total silence from both sides. No interviews, no posts, no mentions. For those familiar with the entertainment industry, it all fits the pattern of a quiet legal shutdown. And if that's what happened to Jordan Blue, it means her silence isn't random, it's enforced. It also means the story she wanted to tell through music might never be hers to finish. The fans never gave up, even when the show did. Months passed, but Jordan's fans kept asking questions. They posted on AGT's official channels, demanding an update. They created hashtags, launched fan pages, and tried tracing her through old high school performances or local music groups. Some even tried voice-matching independent songs on SoundCloud, hoping to find her singing again under a new name. But every search ended in silence. And still, AGT said nothing. Not a clip, not a comment, not a credit. It was as if she never existed. That silence angered many. After all, Jordan wasn't just another contestant. She was the moment of the season, the one people remembered. And yet, the show moved on, leaving her behind like a deleted scene. But for viewers, the memory of her voice and the feeling it created refused to fade. Maybe she's still out there, just quietly living. There's one theory that brings comfort to some. Jordan Blue didn't vanish, she just escaped. Maybe the industry wasn't for her. Maybe she didn't want to be a brand, a face, or a voice tied to a contract. Maybe she just wanted to sing once, be heard, and then go back to being anonymous. There's one theory that brings comfort to some. Jordan Blue didn't vanish, she just escaped. Maybe the industry wasn't for her. Maybe she didn't want to be a brand, a face, or a voice tied to a contract. Maybe she just wanted to sing once, be heard, and then go back to being anonymous. Some fans believe she's out there now, living her life peacefully. maybe studying, maybe writing songs no one will ever hear. And maybe that's enough, because sometimes the bravest thing a person can do isn't stepping into the spotlight, it's walking away from it. Jordan may have chosen silence not because she was broken, but because she wanted peace. And if that's true, her one performance wasn't a beginning, it was a goodbye. Her silence may be louder than her song. In a show built on noise, flashing lights, booming vocals, standing ovations, Jordan Blue did the opposite. She showed up quietly, made the world stop, and left in complete silence. And that's what makes her story unforgettable. Unlike other contestants who fade after being eliminated, Jordan's legacy is defined not by what she did after the show, but by the way she vanished. In her absence, she became something more than a performer. She became a mystery. Her silence created conversations that her voice never could. And whether that was planned, accidental, or forced, it made an impact. Even now, people remember her. Not just the way she sang, but the way her story stopped. In the end, maybe one song was all she needed. Jordan Blue may never return to the spotlight. She may never drop an album, post a behind-the-scenes vlog, or explain what really happened. But maybe she doesn't need to. Maybe her performance, that single, fragile, unforgettable moment, was always meant to be her whole story. In a world obsessed with more content, more updates, more noise, Jordan gave us one thing: truth. Just once. And then she left. That kind of moment isn't easy to understand or replicate. It stays with you. And whether she was silenced or simply chose silence, her voice continues to echo. Because sometimes the most haunting stories aren't the ones that last the longest. They're the ones that end too soon.